Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Nothing Zilch Nada. We're your hosts, Xavier Dean.
Jacob Green.
All right, and then this week we have a topic picked by Mr. Jacob Green. So, Jacob, take it away.
Yeah. So I want to lead up to this just a little bit because I don't think this topic will take up much of our 40-minute time, although it might as well could, depending on how this discussion uh, goes out afterwards. But um, Xavier, do you remember? It might have been
Nope, I don't
our
remember anything.
how. Shut up.
What were we talking about?
I. You said the line from Chicken Little.
Yes,
Yeah. What are we
that's
talking
totally what I
about?
meant to do and not just make a joke about forgetting things.
Yeah. Anyways, but do you remember it might have been our Halloween episode or it might have been one of our other earlier episodes where you brought up the topic of like top 10 serial killers throughout history?
That was the Halloween episode. That was because I had no topics and was like, you know what? It's Halloween,
That's a
serial
that's
killer.
a topic. And I
It's a
mean,
topic, but it was like an impromptu last minute topic because I
hey, a
couldn't
lot
think
of
of anything.
if I'm being completely honest, a lot of our earlier discussions were pretty much impromptu stuff.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it was we had three different topics that we were trying to go through. So.
Yeah. But anyways, so we went over, you talked about different serial killers throughout history, and we kind of discussed both of our points about them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and of course, there's all sorts of serial killers and terrorists throughout history. And
Yep.
maybe one of these days we'll discuss more in depth about them. I don't know, maybe. But
Mm-hmm.
I want to name a special case today. And this is in
Hold on, hold on.
courtesy.
Before you say a special case, I need to quickly run to the cemetery, make sure my parents are still there. I mean, I forgot recording. Ah!
The cemetery might be appropriate place in the case of this state, like the literal state that we live in. Um, you'll see why in a minute. So this is in courtesy of my sister who lives farther up north in the state of Illinois.
Mhm.
Um, Now we have this family group chat where we literally like send stuff to each other, Some of it is information, some of it is like, hey, look at this funny thing that I just saw. And it's I don't want to say it's formal, but it's not like anyone pulls like a dirty joke or anything on there. Um,
All right.
but uh, uh, about 3 weeks ago, might have been 2 weeks, might have been three. My sister sent this funny story, and she sent it with a message of like, and they say our town is usually quiet. And at first, I thought this was like a literal event happening, like some type of shooting, some type of burglary, might been a terrorist attack in our state.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? It
What?
was a terrorist attack
Oh.
in in the quiet town of Rockton, Illinois.
I think
Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to show you this because I can't take it any longer. So I'm sharing my screen.
okay.
But
I'm
Xavier,
here. You're starting to laugh about a terrorist attack, and I'm like starting to get uncomfortable, Jake. So uncomfortable.
you'll
I said both a both a K and a second K when I was saying your name.
yeah. But Xavier, I
Yep.
have a question for you.
Yep.
So you know different serial killers and you know different terrorists.
Yep.
But do you know Carl the turkey terrorist? I'm not making this up. Like, this is part joke and part this is actually what happened. So, this is the news article that my sister sent.
Mhm.
Um, and it was literally, so this was posted on June 23rd of this year.
Mhm.
So this just occurred like a few weeks ago. But yes, this is real. Turkey terror named Carl with a K torments residents of Rockton, Illinois,
Well,
which
yeah,
is
because if you have a Carl with a C, no, Carl with a C, nice guy, swell guy. Might even
yeah.
lend you money if you ask. Carl with a K, menace to society. I've not met a single Carl with a K, well, in general, but I've never met a Carl with a K who has done nice things.
Yeah. So so I kept you in suspense, but
Mhm.
yeah, so yeah, this is the terrorist I was talking about, but I need to do more than just state um the turkey's name. I need to show you the news article. So this is the news article from mystateline.com. Um and there's more to this story than what I have to say. So, in the quiet town of Rockton, Illinois, residents are crying foul after being tormented by a turkey terror the locals have named Carl. He cha- so there's a quote by 6-year-old Xylee Lawn. He chased after me. He was on our grass and he started chasing after me. And he came up to me and tried to peck me. And I ran in the garage and told my mom. In
That's what you
in
get for
Mar
having an X for the first letter of your name.
Yeah. So in March of this year, residents in the cul-de-sac neighborhood said Carl was seen with two other wild turkeys, but now he seems to be on his own, attacking cars and chasing children.
Yep, seems fair. Seems fair.
So, and I don't know if this is the mom or the dad of that same kid, but this person says, he's been in my garage 3 times. I've been watering the flowers, minding my own business, like 8 o'clock in the morning, and comes, here comes Carl. He'll run up to you, and then he'll stop, and then he'll act like he's pecking the ground, and then he'll take off right at you.
Hmm. You know that.
And
Wait.
also for anyone who's curious, Xavier, I'll probably send you the link to this article, and then you
Yes.
could put it on the description of this video, because there is an accompanying video to this article,
Hmm.
that I have not watched, um, but you could read it for yourself. You could watch it for yourself. It's kind of funny. Uh, Neighbors we spoke to have different opinions on Carl. Some saying his presence was not at all that bad, but others say they hope he goes away and doesn't come back.
Hmm.
Same person says, I've reached out to Rockton Township. I've reached out to the Illinois DNR, the Department of Natural Resources. I reached out to the Wild Turkey Confer Confederation, and they said that they would put in something, but there's really nothing they could do about it. Lon
Well, we
says
get
she's
free eating turkey every year at Thanksgiving. We get turkey revolting.
Lon says she's worried about her daughter going outside to enjoy the nice weather, but encountering the foul bird. Every day, I have to look outside before I go outside. I do worry about that because my daughter likes to play at the playground or, in the pool. I don't think they'll go in the pool, but I'm worried about the playground. But it's scary. It really is. The Illinois Department of Natural Resources is asking for citizens to help with a wild turkey survey to estimate the population.
They're only asking so that they know how big of a revolt there's going to be. Turkey is going to be off the menu. And yes, I am quoting Freebird with that one. Not the song, the movie.
I've heard of that movie, but I've never watched it.
It's
That's an animated movie, isn't
it is
it?
an anime movie. I'm not going to go and say it is a great movie. It is definitely a guilty pleasure movie. A lot of dumb jokes, a lot of funny jokes, but no. But that, okay, this is the one time I'm gonna say this because I don't
Hmm.
think there's any other situation where this will happen. I think we may have found a way to one up Florida. Oh, you know what? No more Florida man. It's now Illinois turkey.
You
Illinois
know,
turkey robs
mhm.
a bank. Stuff like that.
You know, so some things to come from this though is that, well, first off, my dad, as most people might not know, he's a deer hunter. He also hunts turkey on the occasion, and he's caught a couple of turkey, and we've had turkey for Thanksgiving, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Maybe we could catch this turkey, and it could be part of our Thanksgiving.
Okay, so here's how we're gonna do it. You're gonna be the muscle, right? You're gonna be the one to take down the turkey. I'll be the
Well, hunting doesn't require muscle; it just requires skill with a bow, not with a shotgun. I don't think turkeys are ever hunted with shotguns.
and that's why I'm the brains of the situation. Because you got the brains and the muscle. Muscle does the hard work. Brains is the one bringing up the publicity and all that, setting up everything else in the background. Okay,
Well,
I'm going to
the
make
thing,
you up to be the hero in this story. We're going to go to Rockton. I'm going to start saying, hey, we've got a famous turkey hunter here who wanted to hurt or hunt down this wild turkey that's been terrorizing this family.
you're making it as like a Wild West story.
No, not Wild West.
And I haven't even hunted turkey before.
Fine,
And I've
I'll
never
enlist your
even
father then. Your father will be the muscle, I'll be the brains.
yeah. And
And
I've
then
never
you'll
even
just be on the
shot any.
sidelines as the cheerleader. Go, go, get the turkey.
And sure, I've shot things with a shotgun, but never with a crossbow. I want to one of these days though. Crossbow is like a shotgun just without the feedback, if you know what I mean.
I'm gonna say I know what you mean. I've seen enough episodes of Arrow to know about it. There was a character who used a crossbow instead of a bow and arrow.
Um yeah, the other thing I'm gonna say though is that like, you know, Rockton, Illinois in particular might have the problem with this with Carl, the turkey, um, who might be the most dangerous thing compared to Jeffrey Dahmer.
Mean, not wrong.
But here's the thing though, is that as some people, and I don't know, it might just be for this state in particular, it might be for other states,
Mhm.
but you, you think I think we have a much bigger problem when it comes to geese.
Oh, yes. Yes, we do.
And look, I've we've been around geese for most of our lives, but since I moved to like Champaign and I'm working a job this summer, mowing grass in
About time
Champaign.
you got a job, Jake.
But
Seriously, you've been unemployed for so long. It's about time you got a job. A real job.
oh come on. I worked at a distribution center when I had to lift packages during my first year of grad school.
I know. I
And
know.
that was the toughest job that I ever had to work.
Mhm.
Um, but um, where was I going with this?
Something about geese.
Yes. Um, but so I've been around like geese before, but in Champaign though, and I don't know about Urbana, since Urbana is literally right next to Champaign, but Champaign though, they are freaking everywhere.
Hmm.
Like, so you haven't been to Champaign yet, and like we're talking about,
I've been to
doing our
Champagne. I've been to Champagne.
Okay, I don't know.
Dude, we went to Champagne 4 years in a row.
That
And
not for the marching band competition.
I mean, I've gone other
And
from
technically
that, but
speaking, if I'm being technical here, but University of Illinois is technically in Urbana
okay. Well then,
in terms of the GP.
regardless, I've still gone to Champagne before. It's not just, that. Really nice. Well, now you got me thinking if triptychs in Urbana or Champagne. But there's a really nice, I want to say they call themselves a brewery.
Yeah. Um. Anyways, though, but almost every area that I go to, and so Champaign has like 62 different parks.
Hmm.
Not all of them are the same size. Um, I may be mistaken, but I think Dodds might be the largest park because it's 40 acres. Because there's like two different separate ballparks, uh different size soccer fields, and then a disc golfing place over there. Which,
It's
by the
got,
way, that's mainly one of the reasons I want you to come over to Champaign, hopefully soon, depending on because we're supposed to do our yearly summer Marvel movie
yes.
watch,
Yep. Uh,
Fantastic Four.
mhm. I I might actually have a weekend I can go up now. Because initially I was gonna go on a camp or a cross country camping trip. Because I assistant coach for Streer's cross country team.
Hmm.
But unfortunately, the week they're going happens to be the same week where I have my first year teacher orientation. And of course, it's not at the beginning of the trip, it's not at the end of the trip, it is right in the middle. So I can't make the excuse of, oh, I'll meet you guys there, or hey, I gotta leave early. No,
Yeah.
I can't. I can spend one day, come back,
Hmm.
stay at my orientation, go back up the next day, stay for one more day.
Yeah.
And
But
that
that also
I'm not.
it also depends on my end because I do a lot of gigging on the weekends, and I'm not sure yet whether I'll have a gig, next Saturday or the Saturday after. I have a gig tonight that I'm doing for one of the groups that I play, but um in terms of my own stuff, I'm not sure whether I'll be uh gigging next Saturday or the Saturday after, but it depends. But either way, we're gonna watch Fantastic Four.
And then that will be a live, or not live, but like another one of our together
Hmm.
uh posts. It may be a reaction to the Fantastic Four.
Maybe, or I could take you out disc golfing at Dodds.
Okay, hear me out. Recording while we're disc golfing.
We've never
I,
done that before.
yeah, I'm gonna say no to that for Dot specifically because I've never played that course.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, it's not a particularly hard course. It's very open-ended. Although I will say there's some spots. There's some spots, and it hits you right at the first hole in the earlier holes.
uh,
Um, but
so what you're saying is I need to teach you my secret for tree hits.
uh, but anyways, we were kind of off track there. But
But it was a
but
good off track.
but
We're
yes,
planning.
yes, it is. But almost every one of the parks that I go to, like even ones that aren't surrounded by water, there are geese, huge flocks of them everywhere, and they make a mess around the sidewalks. And I'm not kidding you. A couple of times, even before I worked the job that I'm working at now,
Hmm.
um, I remember one time. I was going somewhere and there were geese crossing the road and I almost ran over two geese. Like and we're not talking about sorry about that. We're not talking about like, oh, this is a somewhat busy road. No, this is a heavy traffic area.
Yeah,
Like
geese don't.
right in the cross section of where um Urbana and Champaign are by where some of the campus area is at.
Like I said, geese don't care. Geese don't care.
Geese are mean. Geese are mean.
I,
Just
I,
today, just today when I was working, there was a kid that was being chased by like 10 geese.
I don't mean to laugh at that.
I mean, whether he deserved it or not, I don't know.
It's a
But
goose. He didn't deserve it. But with
well, that depends if you mess with them.
no, geese are still mad. So I uh, not only do I assistant coach for the cross country team now, but I'm also a summer volunteer coach at a running clinic in Peru, Illinois,
Hmm.
every Monday. In previous years, around the lake we run, there would
Mhm.
be a full flock of geese. And we would always try to make sure that we stayed on the path because these geese were mean.
Yeah.
Actively avoid the geese. They would like hiss at us all the time.
And you want to know something? I'm pretty sure you might know about this, but they are they're not an endangered species.
Not yet. Not-
No, but I
I'm
but
just saying the Turkey
they are
Revolution might take out the geese.
they are a protected species though. And
They are.
I feel like there should and I know there is hunting for geese, but there probably should be uh more of it. And like, and it's kind of the same overpopulation issue with kind of similar to deer, only deer aren't really mean. They cause more problems in terms of hitting your car.
Hmm.
And it's more so you hitting them and not hitting you, but they're the cause for the problem because it's like you they actually I saw this internet meme that kind of explains that whole situation. Person steps on a branch, deer sees you, runs fast out of there.
Yep.
Car speedily coming straight towards you while the deer is crossing the road. It goes, oh,
Pretty lights.
like I know it probably has something to do with them in terms of their like biology and how they like receive things, but like, come on.
Yep. Nope. But I I agree with the whole geese are mean. I agree there is too many of them. I feel like what we need to do, and this sounds wrong, but
A
considering
geese massacre.
no, no, maybe I'm gonna go with no. We'll leave that for the turkeys. But
Or like,
considering at the end of last month, I tried a bunch of new foods, mainly a bunch of new animals. Maybe trying to see if we can cook geese.
I mean, I've tried rabbit before. I think rabbit meat is pretty good.
Oh yeah, but rabbits
I think it's
double.
better than chicken in some cases.
Man, you're gonna cause another Easter war. The rabbits versus the chickens.
I mean, just don't tell my nieces and nephews that we serve it to them and they think it's chicken, and
See,
we
this
just
is where
don't
you
say
find out.
anything.
This is where you find out that your nieces and nephews watch this.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
See, I know my family watches this, but which, by the way, love my family.
Mhm. I love my family too.
Okay, now I'm
Are
waiting for
you?
my royalty check for that.
I'll need to share. some of these episodes with them,
Mm-hmm.
especially since we,
Only the best ones.
well, this will have to be one of them since, it was my sister that started this whole thing when in terms of like sharing it.
Yep.
Um, the other thing, and this just occurred in my mind today in
Yes.
terms of this whole situation from happening, but you probably most likely watched Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius when it
Yeah, of
was
course.
airing. Yeah.
Skeeny was my
Well,
favorite character.
yeah. Um, but seeing as the turkey is named Carl, and there's a literal character in the show, Carl.
Yeah, but you
I'm
see, that's the difference. That's the difference. Carl in Jimmy Neutron starts with a C. This Carl's
Yeah.
okay. Carl from Jimmy Neutron, unless you go with the more recent stuff that he's done, has been for the most part a good kid. Yeah, doesn't do anything
Okay,
wrong.
but here's the thing, and again, I just thought of this today,
Yep.
and you're probably gonna think I'm uh let me just describe this situation to you.
Oh, I was gonna
So
say I already do, but you stopped that thought, so I can't say I
so
already do.
so so Carl
Yep.
sometimes gets into situations, and I guess other characters too, where they transform into like certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean,
Immediate one I can think of is the Halloween special, where it was like, I think it was Sheen turned into a werewolf, and Carl became a vampire.
hmm, yeah, it's been a while since I've seen the show. Although I do remember the one episode where Carl was impregnated by an alien.
I forgot.
That was a weird episode. They would not do stuff like that now, at least
Her.
for, you know,
No.
uh,
Plus,
for, um, but anyways, but I'm thinking of a situation, and this will make sense in terms of the context of the characters. So,
mhm.
Jimmy, uh, who's literally sometimes the cause of these fiascos because of his experiments,
Yep.
um, makes some type of machine, some animal-based machine, whatever, and accidentally turns Carl into a turkey. And he's kind of freaked out about it, of course. Um,
Mhm.
but so, um, the thing with Jimmy's dad and how I think his name is Hugh,
Yep.
if I remember correctly. Yeah, so Hugh, he likes pie.
He does like pie. He also likes ducks. That I remembered.
I guess so. He likes a lot of stuff. But he likes pie. There's
Mm.
even that one scene where it's like, "Hey, look at all the pie. Yes, I will do it. I will live." But Jimmy's mom, she happens to be like making some pies, but like Jimmy's dad, Hugh, is he's kind of tired of pie, but then he sees the turkey and it's just like, I haven't had turkey pie before, and then he goes on a rampage trying to slaughter Carl the turkey. Not the other Carl. Not the Carl with the K. The Carl with the C. Carl with orange hair and glasses. Oh my gosh. But, he's kind of freaked out about it that Jimmy's dad is chasing him. But then, he gets caught. But then he thinks about the good consequences of the situation because you know how throughout the series, Carl is kind of has a thing for Jimmy's mom. I'm not gonna finish that because I think you know where I'm going with this.
Every dot has been connected.
But
Uh,
of course, we have to make it a good ending for this episode. Jimmy somehow gets Carl back to normal. Carl is a little bit disappointed, but you know what? He gets he gets to have some of Jimmy's mom's pie, the actual bakery pie, of
yeah,
course.
yeah, of course, of course. What
Hey,
other pie would we be
dogs.
thinking about? Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
but
hilariously, you mentioned Carl. Like when you brought up the whole Carl being a turkey, I don't know why. First thing that came to mind was the llamas thing. Like one of them is Carl.
yes,
Like,
yes,
Carl, what did you do? I turned myself into a turkey. But why? So I could torment a little girl.
oh man.
Those are
Uh,
those are fun to watch.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, but I was just thinking about that today. This is what happens when you encounter situations that actually happen in real life. You
Hmm.
happen to make up scenarios that you wish you didn't want to come up with to begin with,
No, you gotta
but you
embrace
just
it.
can't. But you just can't help yourself.
You
Gotta
gotta embrace
embrace.
it, Jake. You can't just hide behind your brain. You gotta be like, nope, come here, brain. Let's
Th-
think of all these
Yeah,
ideas.
yeah, you know what? That's another Jimmy Neutron thing. It's like think, 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 zooms into the brain blast.
Yep.
All
Uh,
right, but
now I
I
want to
think
watch
now,
Jimmy Neutron again.
yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about it at some point. It's been a long time since I watched that show.
Uh,
I watched a lot of stuff from Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon.
I was gonna say you started with Cartoon Network, and I'm like, is he just gonna say Cartoon Network? Is this my
Nah, nah.
right?
I watched a lot of stuff from the three networks that I watched a lot, which was Cartoon Network,
Yep.
Nickelodeon, and then Disney Channel was the third.
Yeah, those are the big three. Big
Yeah,
three
those
during
were,
the week, and then the
or at
season.
least they were the big three. But everyone watches stuff on streaming services now, and I know they're still around. I mean, Disney literally has Disney Plus, so I guess they're still
Well,
the
Disney
big
also
one.
still has the Disney Channel.
Yeah, but
I think Nickelodeon still has their channel. I don't know if
yeah,
they switched, so it's just streaming on Paramount Plus. I do know Cartoon
yeah,
Network is out, which is unfortunate.
yeah,
How else am I supposed to spend my Saturday mornings?
yeah. But
You got rid of their or their cartoons. Cartoon Network got rid of their cartoons, and I don't really want to watch Bluey in the morning.
speaking of Cartoon Network, though, one of these days, there are some shows that I do want to talk about, particularly, the ones that for me in particular, I really got invested in, which was Teen Titans,
Yes,
the
not
first
not
one.
the one that says go, just the normal one.
Yeah, although maybe we could talk about Teen Titans Go one of these days because I have, we both have opinions on that.
Uh
But then the other one is Ben 10,
huh.
which kind of got hit by sort of a similar thing, just like
Sort of.
Teen Titans.
Hmm.
Sort of. Anyways, but I think I'll
Disagree
do.
that the best alien from Ben 10 is Wrath.
Let me tell you something, Xavier Dean. Wrath agrees with you.
By the Wrath agrees.
In fact, I mean, we need to get back to like some of the ranking stuff that we planned out, but
Yeah, we,
I really do want to talk about ranking Ben 10 aliens at some point, then our opinions about it. But
mhm. We might need to go
yeah,
by tens though, just because it's Ben 10, not Ben 1000.
that
Oh
there's
wait,
only
Ben
like
10,000.
actually it's over like a million
It is over,
something.
but I don't think they. Yeah,
They say that in the show. They say that on like season 2 of Alien Force, where like
mhm.
Azimuth is giving Ben master control for the first time. Well, that's not the first time he gets master control, but it's the first time that Azimuth literally gives the voice command for master control.
Yep.
We really need to talk about the show. There, yeah. Anyways, but I think that'll do for this episode. It really just branched off to a bunch of stuff, but like,
But that's what
there.
we initially
But just
planned
so you
to do.
know, just so the state of Illinois goes, or at least maybe it could happen to other states. I mean, when it comes to serial killers in particular, they could go from state to state.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at the Zodiac killer.
Yep.
But we got a new modern day terrorist in this case. His name is Carl the Turkey.
Yeah.
Report to Department of Natural Resources, I guess.
Yep. Be on
Report
the
to
lookout.
Wild Turkey confrontation, But stay safe out there. I guess get your guns ready or your bows. I
Or
don't know.
forks and knives. And like carve the turkey.
Yeah, slowly stab the turkey to death with your small knife. In fact, make it a
Have your
butter knife.
torches and pitchforks. We're going to hunt for a turkey.
Mhm. Oh, wait, no. Burn the turkey, burn the
Burn
turkey.
turkey, burn the turkey.
I know a spell.
Not too much. We want to eat it.
Wait, no. Wait. I know a spell that will summon a bunch of deer. Release the turkey. Release the turkey.
You've seen those highlights too.
Yeah, yes, I've even sent you some of them, I think.
Oh, you did send me that one. You sent me that one. That might be something we need to talk about too.
I'm not entirely sure about that.
Well, not specifically, but like maybe our own more appropriate ideas.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, but
Anyways.
that is going to be a while from now.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, I feel like this is a great stopping point for this episode. Thank you, Jacob, for the for the knowledge of a new terrorist. We all need to stay safe out there.
Yeah.
Keep a lookout. And make sure that if you see him, put him in the freezer for Thanksgiving.
This video is brought to you by the Wild Turkey man, I can't talk today. I'm literally looking up the name on the article.
Mhm.
Wild Turkey confrontation.
Okay. Thank you.
Brought to you by that. We'll take
Brought
care
by
of
the
it.
wild turkey, something or another. But with that, that is all we have for today. Next week, I will have a topic, and maybe next week, I will actually get to disc golf. I know I meant that last week, but then last week we had a race, and I figured, why not run? But with that, I am Xavier Dean.
And I'm Jacob Green.
And I wish you a wonderful night. Stay safe out there. Watch out for the wild turkeys. And overall, we'll see you next week.
God.
Bye.